Hey guys, Lily here, back again in another video. 68. No, something I want to get in the way before this video is that I should have made this video years ago and I'm not sure why I didn't do it. I don't know why I didn't do this. Maybe I was just too busy, I was too lazy. But I'm doing it now. I'm trying to make do more videos that I didn't get to do in that process. So this video will be about the title of the video is going to be that is not how Naruto is going to be regarded as the worst Hokage post Ishiki Kawaki destruction later on in the future. And I should have made this video years prior. I'm not sure why. But the thing about it is that, so I have said this back in, I think through mid 2014, 2015, definitely said it in 2015 and 2016, because I'm really saying to people in comment sections that, and I keep saying it, the mood is going to be, because after the war, after this, Naruto is going to be regarded as the worst Hokage in history. Because and let's put it in perspective here, right? That and let me say as to why he would be the worst one. Number one, alright, number one, what is that? Ah, what is this? Okay, go up. Is number one is his his lack of wanting to do everything himself. So that's one of the main issues I took from it years ago in 2015. And you have people, you have people who are supposed to do these specific jobs, these specific tasks. Why are you specifically going around doing everything? I don't understand that. I'm like, okay, yes. It stems from, okay, you want to help everybody, you want to make sure everybody's comfortable, nothing this and that. But his leadership skills, how can I say it? His leadership skills are not on par, really, really. Because anyone think that he is considered a leader, since years ago till now. I don't know. I don't know what you've been watching. I don't know if it's the same thing we've been watching. I don't know. I don't know if it's the same show we've been watching. Same thing we've been reading. One has no leadership skills. And the thing about it also as well is that, alright, so I have not watched the latest Boruto episode, which I should, but the point still stands is that because, like I said, I said it before to a lot of people saying that Naruto's not a good Hokage, doesn't do what it's supposed to be doing, lack of, like, it's just it stems from a lack of being someone that is supposed to be doing, because he's doing everything, and I'm like, number one, you're supposed to have proper security. I'm like, and I'm like, especially like a village like that, especially like a village that has become the central point after the Fourth War. I'm like, it was way too peaceful, way too peaceful. And another thing that kind of made me realize too is that not a lot of people are combative in the village. Like, I've noticed that a lot of people are not so combative, and I'm like, wait, hold up. Why aren't your schools, like more and more schools for up and coming people who want to learn like self defense or anything else? I don't get that. It's not they become way too accustomed to the point where, oh, Lord Seven is gonna do everything? I don't know. Because and he's not even a good father as well. And listen, I'm gonna put it past him, alright? I understand that he never grew up with parents, that he didn't, but I'm like, that shouldn't be an excuse still. Because you got your son always angry at you for not being around. You always got people being his yes men too much to the point where I'm like, huh, now I see the problem. Now I see why it's a problem. Because I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know too much of politics. I don't. It's too much. Because Naruto himself as a person, and like I said before, he doesn't have the proper leadership things. Because I'm like, how are you as a leader? And let's put this out there though too as well. Yes, he is the head of the village, but he's supposed to. But he's just like someone who's supposed to be like a temp, like for the higher up, not really the leader of the village. Um, hmm, let's see if I can see what's going on, because I've seen it before. I'm like, dude, give your advisors telling you have a lot of people who are in the field. You need to lock down the village. You need to ensure that you check every single person who is suspicious, anyone who doesn't fit, anyone who doesn't fit the narrative of so quote coming to the village as a tourist. And something like that, to the extent where I'm like, okay, so you don't listen to it's the same thing like in the manga, like, dude, you didn't listen to the series when they tell you that do not let Kawaki into the village, kill him right there and then, and just get it off. But Naruto was like, no, this is a misunderstood kid, and I need to show him proper ways of humanity. And I'm like, dude, I know you don't want to do what you don't want to do, but for once, do what you're supposed to be doing, because I'm like, you're gonna let this random kid who almost killed your flesh and blood while on a mission, a very dangerous mission, mind you, who was disrespectful to everybody he meets, and who went into your home and broke a vase your daughter made. Yeah. Mm-mm. And I'm like, his negotiation skills sucks as well. I'm like, because when imagine a villain knocking onto your front door and telling you, saying, "Oh, good day. I just want Kawaki. Why don't you just give me him?" And that was the argument too as well. Is that I'm like, and Jigen Nishiki even told him to the point where he was like, "Dude, the way you could have just avoided this fight if you just gave him the person he needed and he would be on his way." He told him. He simply told him that, listen, listen, let me put it in this perspective that if you don't give me him, if you don't want peace, and I have to say, Inishiki was correct. Julian Inishiki was correct, because the village was too peaceful. The village itself was so open and vulnerable to the point where anybody could have gone in. Imagine the bandits could have gone snuck in. That same weird new energy thing that was keep possessing people that no one was able to like figure out or do in the anime. Wait. And I'm like, wait. So where are the persons who are supposed to be guarding the village? Where are, and I'm like, wait a minute as well. And I've asked this question and I think I didn't get an answer. But where are the Ambu? Because I'm pretty sure the Ambu themselves are supposed to be in the shadows, making sure that certain things don't get by them. Did Naruto disband that group? Was that disbanded? And then going back to like post destruction future, the manga and anime, to the point where I'm like, yeah, it's gonna divide the village up, and I've said this before. That it's gonna divide the village up from persons who are gonna defend him, saying he did all he could, and there are gonna be some persons saying, if he's good, why did he, as a leader, allowed this type of thing to happen? Because this should not have been happening. This should never have happened in the first place in any given time. Which is true. This event should never have happened. And you're gonna have people who are like, and you are going to have some person be like, this is just like pain. This is just like what pain used to do. Not used to do. This is just like pain. And I'd made a comparison back in 2018 or 2019. And you could see the parallels. Pain did the same exact thing. Inchiki is doing the same exact thing Pain did. But only thing, one is a powerful god. And it really irks me to the point where I'm like, it's gonna divide that village to the point where they don't want another siege. Or they would have to. Because it happens for 3 years? The maximum? No, wait. It is said it is a 3-year time skip. So a 3-year time skip. Let me see. Again, because something is in a 3-year time skip and it led to that much destruction to the point where you're like, okay, something is terribly wrong. Because I'm like, where are the persons who are supposed to be The guards supposed to protect the village, where are they? It's not even enemy, him trying to train them. I'm like, shouldn't you have been doing this months and months on? And I've said this before to a lot of people, saying, number one, Sarada is not going to become no Hokage. I know that for sure. Said it since 2015. Said it since 2015. And yeah, somewhere between 2014 2015. I made it clear why she won't. Because there will be certain people in the village saying, nah, no. No way. No way we're gonna have someone like her leading that village. What's worse of all, a male Uchiha getting angry, imagine a female one. And I said this before, that she's good because I think it might have been foreshadowed that she would join Orochimaru's group. Like Naruto. Water like Naruto. Because it's not that struggle divide. Really. A psychological divide. And another thing as well, I use the time. That's weird. Huh. Kind of going slow. Huh. So another thing as well is that this is how I see it, is that some of the current is more comfort. I don't want to revenge and all of that. That's my take. And the Jojo would be on her side. Of course, it's her friend, so she would support her. And same thing with Inogen, because he likes her, just like his the Yamanaka have some obsession with Uchiha's for some reason. It was confirmed he does like her. So create that divide. People who would support what Naruto was doing was for the village. Some say no, because this type of thing should never have happened. This type of thing should never have taken place, and it would have been avoided. Because you're gonna have some people saying that why weren't there proper security, and the other nations are gonna be like, so wait a minute, so why weren't there people there to protect, like the guards? Why weren't there certain things that were there before aren't there now? Are supposed to be there. Mm, my opinion, my my take on it, because I'm like, not really. And then you're in the latest, this is Boruto chapter that came out last week, where we saw Naruto, Sasuke, and Boruto at the Ishiki, and the technique that Kuruma said to Naruto that they should use so they can fight up Inishiki is killing Naruto to the point where I'm like, you know, this was not necessary. And Inishiki found out to the point where he's like, wait, he got he made a prosthetic arm for Kawaki. I seen that it made from his chakra. He instantly knew, found the location and just teleported him. And I'm like, he didn't thought this through, did he? I'm like, he did not thought this through. I don't think he did. I hope I hope we see a lot more things gonna happen. It's gonna get very political, and I don't want people to complain about it because there's always been politics in Naruto for years. I don't want people complaining and say, oh, it's getting too political now. And I'm like, did we watch the same series? Did we read the same series? Did you not see that it has been that way for years? Since its debut? Since part 1? Part 2? The specials? The movies? Wow. And I personally said that why Sarada wouldn't be Hokage is because she's an Uchiha, and I think people would really object to that if she so unquote were to become Hokage. No. And I'm like, and the notion is that if Sasuke dies, she would have to get the Renegon. Because it has to be passed on. And the fact that she was slowly but surely building up a relationship with her father, building up more of a connection, building up, like getting to know him more, like for all the times they never have spent, just starting to get to know him, starting to feel like, okay, this should have been what should have happened. And then, some way, shape or form, boom, he dead. Or somewhere, believe that he died. What do you think he's gonna do to someone like that? Especially someone of Uchiha blood. With some Uchiha blood inside of her. I'm like, I don't think people know the consequence. What happens when an Uchiha sees real pain? We saw it with Shin, we saw it with Itachi, we saw it with Madara, we saw it with Sasuke as well. We saw it with Obito. And now we're gonna see it with her. And why not? And I really hope Kishimoto himself try to emphasize that more. Because I know he's pretty upset and kind of salty that the work he was doing Samurai 8 wasn't getting the much popularity he thought it would, or getting that much popularity. And the series got cancelled, so I'm like, why not just go back to that? And I'm really hoping to see the next chapter. I hope some people just get bodied to the point where I'm like, ooh. Yeah, to the point where they just get bodied. Because I said this before, and I'll say it again and again and again and again and again. And are just gonna be regarded as the worst Hokage in the village. He's gonna be regarded as someone who wasn't a great leader. And I've said this before too. I think 2018 or 2019 that, and also too, and I made this connection. I think I made this connection years ago. I think 2016, 2017, somewhere. I think it was somewhere in 2016, 2017, or 2018. I was still that. See, you know who Naruto the movie The Last? I remember this theory that maybe he will be the last known Hokage, because I had made the notion that maybe the villagers would not want another Hokage and request they go democratic. I think maybe, maybe. And I just want to get my thought out because let's be real, he himself, or yes, granted, same way as well. I'm like, yeah, I understand that. Yes, he's human. We all make mistakes. But, and I've seen some people in the some comments, not mine, but others, videos I have watched, that Shigumaru is more of the brains and the bronze behind the operations than Naruto. And that's like the people are like, Naruto is still a terrible father because I'm still not giving up on that because he had all this time, and Hinata too as well. She's she's a terrible mother as well. Because I'm like, you're a housewife. You have nothing to do at home. I'm like, why don't you give your kids some training? Like proper training, and do not come into the comment section and say, oh, this and that. No. She herself had nothing to do at home. Cook, clean, buy groceries, clean, cook, sit around all day. And I'm like, you could have been teaching your son and your daughter as well some tactics, some fighting techniques. Nope, nope. And people want to say, oh, Hinata is the greatest mother, she's a good mother. And I'm gonna put this out there too. So, a parent who was in a war, not at home, having nothing to do, and both the children are one is in the academy and one is in training. So you didn't have the time to teach them your side of the family's techniques, tricks. And I said this before, this is why I like Sakura more. I used to like Hinata, but I've been a Sakura fangirl since 2006. Yeah, it's been that long. And still going strong to this day. Like, he wasn't there for his own daughter's birthday. I'm like, what are your sons mad at you? You're not being a proper father. You weren't there when your children needed you most. You weren't there. It was your daughter's birthday. Instead, you sent a clone there. You didn't ensure that he get to know some of the good training from you yourself as the father. But, you know, trained by his teacher, his best friend, by his old teacher, his best friend, other people. Meanwhile, Sarah has both parents. One is extremely busy being the head of the medical center, and is always constantly traveling, constantly doing all the stuff to help people. And one is in the shadows doing work, and he was never home all the time, and he's trying to spend time training her techniques from his clan. I wonder, I think I said what I wanted to say. Because it's been going since, been saying something since 2015, 2016 to 2017, 2018, for 4 years. Through those times, for 4 years, at that time as well. Because I have to express my opinion, I have to express my thoughts that he's gonna be regarded as the worst Hokage, and the village is going to be divided. So, like I said, Sarah's gonna be Hokage. I don't know what people was thinking. I said this back in when the movie came out. I said this when the series came out in 2015. I said this in 2014, 2015. I've said it before. I've said it. I've said it before, and I will say it again. So I might make another one. So I might just end it here.